Hi, lovelies. I know that now that the new year has arrived, a lot of us are going to be looking to get our eating back on track. And that's why today I wanted to share this recipe for these absolutely amazing Asian-inspired chicken lettuce wraps that are super fresh but super flavorful and also really filling. Because come on, if your food isn't filling, you are not going to be satisfied. What I love so much about the filling in this recipe is that you can actually make it ahead of time during your Sunday meal prep and then enjoy it for up to 3 days. So it's one of those really wonderful make ahead meal ideas, and it also happens to taste absolutely incredible. Now, to get started, I am going to just be heating up a little bit of oil in my pan. I'm using a nice flavorless canola oil. You could use vegetable oil or sunflower oil here. You just want to make sure that your oil doesn't have any strong flavors. And as soon as that oil is nice and hot, I'm gonna go ahead and get my ground chicken into the pan. Now, I'm using ground chicken in this recipe, but you definitely have tons of great options for the kind of protein you can use here. You could swap in some ground turkey if you wanted to, or ground pork would be really good. You also have the option to keep this totally vegetarian by using a combination of finely chopped mushrooms and some crumbled tofu. I've done it before and it's absolutely delicious. Basically, all we're going to do is let our chicken cook away, breaking it up with the side of our spoon, just until it's no longer pink. That usually takes between, say, 5 and 6 minutes. Once my chicken is fully cooked, I'm going to go ahead and start adding some flavor to my pan. Now to do that, I'm starting with some finely diced onion, and I'm just going to let that cook up for another 2 to 3 minutes, just until it starts to soften up a little bit and becomes nice and translucent. Then I'll go ahead and add some garlic and some ginger to this. We'll give that a quick stir. Just let that heat through for maybe a minute or so, just until those flavors really start to come to life. At this point, things are smelling amazing. I'm just going to reduce my heat to medium. And now it's time to start getting some sauciness happening in this pan, starting with a little bit of hoisin sauce. Now, if you're not familiar, hoisin is this really beautifully flavorful sauce. It's very common in Asian cooking. You can usually find it in the international aisle at your supermarket. To offset that sweetness, we're gonna balance things out with a nice splash of tamari, which is just gluten-free soy sauce. You can definitely use regular soy sauce here, but I love tamari. It's what I always have on hand in the kitchen. I'm also going to be adding a little tang to this recipe with some rice wine vinegar, so just a little bit of nice acidity and tartness. And then I've got just a little drizzle of sesame oil as well. You've probably heard me say this before, but I will say it again. Sesame oil has a really strong flavor, so a little bit goes a long way. You don't have to overdo it. And I just want to basically give this a good mix until everything is well coated in that sauce. Now, for those of you who love the heat like I do, you can go ahead and add some red pepper flakes to this. As you guys know, I always love adding a little bit of a kick to my food when I can. Now I just want to go ahead and add a touch of freshness to this to brighten it all up. And to do that, I'm going to be adding some matchstick carrots and a nice sprinkle of freshly chopped green onion. I'll give that all a quick toss, and that's it, guys. In basically 10 or 12 minutes, this filling is ready to be enjoyed. There's so many amazing ways to serve it, but I like keeping things really simple and piling this into some lettuce wraps with a sprinkle of sesame seeds on top. But you could just as easily serve this with some rice or on a salad. It's got tons of great possibilities for you. Guys, I really hope you love this recipe as much as I do and that you will give it a try for yourselves. As always, if you do, be sure to tweet me, Instagram me, or Facebook me a photo because you know how much I love seeing your kitchen creations. Remember, this recipe, like all of my recipes, is featured on healthymealplans.com, our amazing meal planning site that allows you to browse more than 1,000 recipes, drag and drop them into your weekly meal plan, and then automatically generates your grocery list for the week. If you haven't checked it out already, I really hope you will. It's such a great way to get on track during the new year. And as always, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe because there is lots more deliciousness where this came from.